The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Corner Booth Pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's off. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see myself. Hey, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Hey, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh my
lovely.
God.
I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corner Booth Pregame. I am your host, Jared Clem, on a cookieless laptop. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't realize how much this speeds up your browser until I started working, trying to prep for the show today. I just said, fuck it. I haven't cleaned my cookie history in a while. I realized I hadn't done it in 2 years, and I never cleaned my history in 2 years. I literally wiped that shit clean. This thing's running like a damn Ferrari right now. So far, so good. The intro looked great. We got a great show tonight. We've got a returning guest who we haven't seen in about 3-4 months. I'd say 2 months. And then also we have a guy we haven't seen in 2 weeks who is, his hiatus is over. He's our favorite part of the High-Low Sports crew. DJ is back, obviously. Of course, and also we have my two co-hosts. If y'all didn't know, Chris has been promoted. He is no longer just the intern. He's now Chris Lipoff, the muted co-host.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big promotion. One thing I'm missing is my beer right now. That beer is going to taste like promotion.
Go get your fucking beer. All right. Joining me now is my other co-host, my partner in crime, my fellow Southern Connecticut graduate, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Ordazzo. Now, homeowner Matt Ordazzo.
Homeowner, yeah. All my money is gone. And listen, if you need any more cookies for your computer, I've got plenty for you. You can't see them because it's blurry, but I got a bunch of chocolate chips. Also, I gotta say, I love the ending of our intro. I look forward to it every time we play it, and it always bothers me that Samir had no emotion to that entire debacle going on. Everybody's dying. It's funny.
He must have been so fucking stoned for that part of the show. Samir must have been so fucking stoned for that part of the show, because that was our Super Bowl show too, by the way, which was hilarious. But also that part of the show is going away. According to Kevin, he goes, I will literally do any new intro you want. Just now that I actually have a girl I'm serious about, please get it off the intro. And I'm like, fair enough. And also joining us, ladies and gentlemen, a friend of the show, host of Unfair Sports, a Sooners fan, a Marvel nerd, one of the coolest dudes I know, and also one of the people I refer to for basketball knowledge, because I'm kind of stupid when it comes to basketball, except for my Timberwolves are kicking ass, taking names, and taking suspensions. What up, you bitch-ass Draymond? Ladies and gentlemen, my man Jay Smith.
What's good, man? Hey, yeah, you're the Ant-Man took over that team. So y'all are flying high, bro. There's always a meme of him, have Jordan, and I see it.
Well, listen, him and Jimmy Butler, the two illegitimate sons of Michael Jordan.
It feels like it, yes. They
Bro,
play
listen,
just like
we don't
him.
know where Mike was those years.
I mean, it's a fair point. And Marcus Jordan is banging his old teammate's wife, so
I mean, listen. Then again, Larsa Pittman's probably banged about half the NBA at this point, so it's kind of like
fair point. It must be really good. That shit's got to be real good.
No, at this point, it's got to be like a peach. Listen, no disrespect. This is not trying to be sexy, disrespectful, but man, that shit's got to be like a petri dish at this point. That's terrifying.
I mean, hey, he's still there. It's got to be worth it.
It's got to be like dark magic or something, just because there's something.
Dark magic.
Yeah, that's the way to put it, man. Oh man, it's been a good week though. We got the most interesting six pack of underprivileged when it comes to like views from the NFL media. I've got some serious fucking beef with the NCAA, and we're going to introduce Jay and DJ to our second round of Corner Booth Knockout. We're working our way up the tier system. This week's edition is who's more likely to win a Super Bowl. So right now, I believe it's the Bears versus the Titans. Am I right in that one, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, we left off Bears Titans.
Or it was Cardinals Titans. I can't remember.
No, it was Bears Titans. Wait.
Go back, check the tape.
No, I think I remember we did a hard run with the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears went on a run. So,
yeah.
Jay, what we did was we took last week's power rankings and we just started at the bottom with I believe it was the Panthers and worked our way up. The Giants went on like a 3 or 4 team run. Then they ran into the Bears. The Bears buzzsawed everybody. The hardest one was the Cardinals. And that came down to a coin flip. And now they're taking on the Titans. So we're working our way up. So you and DJ will kind of help us with that. We'll kind of just do deciding votes. It'll be fun. There are 5 of us here, so it'll be a good even way to do it. Also, we have another loaded 6-pack. And like I said in the corner booth, in the belly up chat, tell us your locks of the week, your gambling bets, your money lines, your anything. If football related, even better. Basketball, I'll take it.
Yeah, I need it.
And if somebody can tell me what the fuck this in-season tournament is in layman's terms, I am the happiest man alive. Because here's the problem. My coworker's a big Celtics fan. He tried to explain this to me about 6 weeks ago. Or no, I'm sorry, 6 days ago. And I'm trying to like understand like the whole premise of it. And at the end of the day, I'm still sitting here. I'm like, I don't get the whole in-season tournament. I understand when soccer does it, right? All those Premier Leagues and everything else overseas, that makes sense because they stop the season, they do a tournament, they go back to it. Even the MLS. But with the NBA, they play like 3 games, then they go back to regular play, then they go back to 3 games. I am so confused. Somebody make sense of it for me.
Yeah, I was going to make a connection like it was just like the Premier League or like any soccer event, like say like the World Cup is in the middle of the season. Like they stop what they're doing and then they play international for a month and then they go back to their club teams. I can help.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean the way the Premier League is, and it's kind of like they have this thing called like the FA Cup, which also like a tournament that like goes on throughout the season, but it doesn't count towards your regular season like standings or statistics or anything like that. It's just like it's like another trophy to win, but it takes place during the vast majority of the Premier League. So that's kind of like how like I see this in-season tournament for the NBA, just kind of like the FA Cup. You know what I mean? It's not winning the league. You know what I mean? It's not winning the actual championship, but it's kind of like I don't know, dude. It feels like a mini trophy. I'm not a fan of it personally. I've seen all of the courts for the NBA for this new in-season tournament, and it's all crappy. Like I was watching the Sixers yesterday, and the whole court was red, like just blood red.
Like, what is this, Eastern Washington right now? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like the fuck, dude. But like, I don't know. I know it does count towards your regular season, but like I just don't. I don't know. My guy.
Shout out to our boy H, man.
My guy.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I will probably understand it by the end of the season. All I know is my Wolves are kicking everyone's ass except for Phoenix, who apparently woke up last night. It's a good time to be a Timberwolves fan, which you haven't really been able to say since I was 9 years old. So that should tell you something right now. Because I don't count last 2 years because we got our ass kicked in the first round, and I don't count 17 with Unk Jimmy Butler, because as much as I love Jimmy, I have his Timberwolves Jordans. I love that man to death. When we traded him, I was mad at him for about half a season, and then I realized that Cat and Wiggins were the baby back bitches, and Wiggins is not. Wiggins got his cojones back when he went to Golden State, but Cat's still a bitch. I don't like Cat. Everyone's like, why don't you like Cat? I'm like, he's about as soft as melted mozzarella cheese, man.
Like, I went to the Sixers game a couple years ago when Ben Simmons was on the team, and
was that the time that Embiid choked him out?
Yeah, well, Ben Simmons choking him out. Yeah,
He's like, how dare you say that about my girl Kendall?
Yeah, and then Jimmy comes to play here, and then the same situation. Like, it's not Jimmy who's the bitch. I mean, Jimmy Butler's a dog.
No, Jimmy's just like Jimmy's a '90s basketball player playing in the modern era.
Yeah, exactly. It's Ben Simmons. It's just like, I mean, he was the issue. I mean, you're seeing he was doing with the Nets right now. You know, I mean, he's not playing, back issues.
I mean, fellas. We don't have James Harden in any of our teams. That should be a win right there.
Dude. I think
Jay, I've been waiting for you to say something, man, because you're my NBA default right now. I'm waiting for it.
Hey, man, no, you're spot on with that. I mean, the good thing is you don't have James Harden. And Karl Anthony Towns, man, just remember, he's not big, man. He's a tall man. Like, he's just a dude with height. He plays nothing about his game is big. Point. So if you want to, I mean, the fact that he considers himself the best 3-point shooting big man told me everything I need to know about him being considered a tall man instead. He is soft. He ain't got nothing tough about him.
Kristaps is kind of built.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not Ayton, he's not Embiid, he's not Jokic, he's like 6'11", he's like 7'1" Durant kind of. Yeah.
Right. It's terrible. So he's kind of like there's nothing good about having Cat on your team. Y'all should have gotten rid of him this summer.
I'm like Julius Randle in a first. I will roll with that. I wanted Jay Randle because he's
good.
Dude, he would fit perfectly with Ant. I mean, honestly though, the fact that Cat is kind of taking that secondary role, well, they can just go get 10 boards, get 10 points in 3 blocks, and then you have Connolly kind of calming everyone down, and then Jalen Noel's if Cat understands he's the number 2, that team is a second, third round of the playoffs. As long as he understands that he is not the alpha dog. Ant. Also, I think if he tries to, Ant might beat him into submission. Anthony Edwards seems like he has that kind of mentality where he will Michael Jordan your ass in the locker room.
He doesn't give a shit. It's so funny.
Bro, he was he literally was looking at. He was literally after they beat the Warriors last week. He was yelling to fucking Draymond, "Yo, where you going?" I saw that on replay, and I'm like, ain't no way this dude is barking at Draymond Green. Where you going?
Dude, my favorite moment, I guess, of T-Wolves history is when you guys won the play-in tournament, that.
Oh my God, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Jumped on the table. And he's going nuts.
I mean, to be fair, that was the first playoff appearance without we've won a series. I think it was our first home win in a playoff game since 2004.
Yeah, I was rooting for you guys heavy, dude. I just find it hilarious how it was just Pat Bev.
That was just such everyone makes fun of that now. And it still kills me because it's oh, you're a Wolves fan. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk about 2021, all right?
It seems like everybody you guys get somehow winds up on the Sixers. We got Butler from you. We got Pat Rob Cove. Well, he got drafted.
Yeah, you gave him to us, and then we gave him to Portland or something.
Yeah,
but,
and then
fellas,
bounced around.
We got one of my college football expert buddies here. I want to talk about the NCAA because they're starting to get a little sus on me. You guys have heard me rant for years about how the NCAA, the ACC hates Miami. It's well documented. The Miami's wanted it out. The refs never call game plays in their favor. They always have favored Clemson and Florida State and a few other schools. ACC refs have always been one of the worst. That's a fact. Now, favoring against Miami or certain other teams, I won't say it's true. I've seen certain things, maybe certain safeties on a little bitch boy quarterback named Jordan Travis. That being said, congratulations, Florida State. It took you 3 bad penalties, 2 bad missed calls, and our freshman phenom quarterback shattering his forearm where the bone came through the skin to beat us. Yep. Congrats. You're the number 4 team in the country. And Miami had you guys on the fucking ropes. And so that gets to my point. How the fuck is Washington not in the top 4? It actually is starting to make me upset because this is the best Washington team I've seen since Jake fucking Browning was playing quarterback for them. And even possibly even better. we're going back to the teams that beat the Canes back in 2000s when Neuheisel was coaching. And so the Pac-12 has been phenomenal this year. The best game I watched all year, me and Matt at his 28th birthday. Me and Matt watched Oregon, Washington in a bar with all of his friends and family. And it was crazy down to the fucking end. And Oregon ranked right behind them. They're the only team, by the way, in the top 6 who has a win in the top 6. I don't get it. I don't understand the bias. Oh my God, they're undefeated. So is James fucking Madison. Nobody fucking cares. It's about what you did and who you beat. Florida State's best win's fucking LSU. Their most embarrassing win is Miami because Miami's a garbage can still. As a Canes fan, I'm saying this. They're about a year away from being an ACC contender. I think Emory Williams is going to be an All-American. That kid has no fear. I think the biggest problem to this Miami program was we brought Tyler Van Dyke back. If Van Dyke transferred to Alabama, which honestly he probably would have been great, Miami could have taken a year of just Ja'Cory Brown and Emory Williams, and they probably would have figured out, okay, we've got one of these 2 4-stars is going to be our next like stud quarterback, right? I digress. Florida State is not an impressive team. They get gouged on the run. They have 2 good playmakers on offense. The running back's just a downhill guy. And to be honest, Jordan Travis doesn't impress me as a passer. He's just athletic and makes enough right reads, but he panics when he gets blitzed, and any team with a decent pass rush is going to drive him crazy. Miami is one of the best pass rushes in the nation, right? It's one of the few things they're good at this year. They have 2 first-round pick potentially on that D-line. What was a constant during that game? Jordan Travis was running for his fucking life. When they pulled the gas off, Florida State was able to start picking them apart defensively because Miami's weak in their secondary. They're all young guys, except for their 2 safeties, but their corners are young, or they're like castaways from Big Ten programs. But that's okay. That's a good ACC team. Honestly, Miami's not a bad team. They just have been screwed by injuries and screwed by bad quarterback play. But here is my favorite thing, and yes, this is like no surprise, shocker. And I've said this before. I've said it at work. I've said it at barbecues. I've said it at friends' houses. The only team I hate more than the Dallas Cowboys is the Florida State Seminoles. I will fully admit that on air right now. There's only, yeah, and the only other team besides those 2 that I hate is the LA Dodgers, but that's well documented. We've got the upper hand right now. Go Snakes. So that being said, right? Oregon, great team. Washington, great team. Michigan, Ohio State, great teams. Georgia, no fucking shit, great team. Alabama, great team. Florida State, I don't know. Like, they're going to play. So let's be honest. It's going to be North Carolina, Florida State in the ACC Championship in 2 weeks, right?
Most likely,
right? There is a very good chance Drake May and them boys light Florida State up. Like, I'm actually going to put money down for like, I think it's North Carolina plus 20. I think I wrote down on my notebook. I mean, minus 20. North Carolina minus 20. I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going big because I watched North Carolina shred that Miami defense that has their coach, their defense coordinator, up for like an award for how good they've been this year. Their offense is fucking terrible. That's why. But anyway, that same team held Florida State to 28 points. Half of them were off turnovers. Yeah. At the end of the day, if I'm looking at this game, remember how in 2014 through 2019, it was always 3 good teams. It was always Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama, or throw in Georgia every year, right? There was always that one team that did not belong, whether it was Michigan, whether it was Michigan State, whether it was Oklahoma, sorry, Jay, or it was Washington back in the day, right? Yeah, no, that's Florida State this year. Florida State goes into any 3 of those programs and gets thumped Cincinnati style. Badly. Like, it's ugly. They're not a good team. The ACC is a garbage conference run by garbage humans with garbage refs. Scumbags.
Levels.
But here's the thing. That's not the class. The best team in the ACC is North Carolina by a fucking mile. And the only reason they're not the best team in the ACC is because they're fucking undisciplined. They play like a bunch of fucking crazed middle schoolers hopped up on sugar. It's penalties left and right. I think they had 120 yards of penalties against Miami. I think they had another 88 against, I think, North Carolina State or something. I think they're
one of the most
top
penalized teams in college.
Yeah, the most penalized teams in college football. And yet, here's the thing. You still keep with those penalties, they will still smoke 80% of the teams in the ACC in a neutral site game. Because Drake May is the best quarterback in this class by a fucking mile. I think Caleb Williams has a lot of talent, but Drake May has NFL All-Pro potential. His ceiling's that high. I watched that kid stare down a pass rush and just drop dimes. Yes, listen, Tez Walker is Randy Moss's illegitimate son. That boy can run, he can jump, he can catch everything, right? But my point is, Washington and Oregon and Alabama should be fucking insulted by the committee putting Florida State in. If you want my honest opinion, Florida State's the 8th best team in the country. That's my honest opinion right now. If you said today, gun to my head, where do I rank Florida State? I put them at 8. Well, thank you for coming on my TED Talk.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty low. I don't think they'd be that low, especially since they're one of 5 teams that's undefeated. James Madison doesn't count because they don't qualify since they just moved into the
NCAA shitting on them.
FBS, which is stupid. I think
my
far,
God.
it's probably the stupidest.
That
thing
was
what
actually
NCAA
part
does.
2 of my thing today. So,
but it's the NCAA. I'll say this: Florida State is top 4 right now because of the LSU win. They beat them soundly to start the season. Neutral site, all that jazz, beard, mustache, bullshit. Anyway, they haven't fell at all yet for it to be warranted to fall. The problem with Washington is they look really bad defensively. Really bad.
But
yeah, Florida State has had its moments. Washington
look who they're playing. They haven't played
they
a bad.
look really bad defensively.
They played
That's the
7 top 30 offenses, though. They're in shootouts because, well, listen, it's the Pacific Passing League. That's what the Pac-12 stands for. But as a Big 12 fan, you should understand.
I totally get it. But they look.
Listen, these Oklahoma fans, they get a defensive coach and they act all hoity-toity now.
I mean, we got top 15 defense, so yeah, we understand now what
this
defense
year,
looks
you
like.
have fucking Venables in that zone blitz scheme that scares the piss out of me in my nightmares.
Hey man, historically we had a good defense, especially in the old regime, which we're very happy that they're out west. We're very happy that they're gone, and which one of them got fired. So
in dropping the rankings for all Pac-12 defenses, thanks Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's just they're defensively they've just looked really bad, and so because of that, that's why you'll see Florida State there right now because Florida State hasn't done anything to drop yet. Miami's considered a rivalry game, so there's always lenience in a rivalry game. A rivalry is going to give it their best punch. That's everybody's Super Bowl. When you're a rival, that's your Super Bowl. Point blank. Period. I don't care how you say it. It's your rival.
Oh no, listen, I wasn't doing
bragging
anything
rights
on Saturday. I was watching that fucking game from start to finish.
Yeah. Exactly. That's your life. So that's why you'll see Florida State there. Now, what Washington's going to have to do to get in is I put it like this. The reason why Washington also isn't above Florida State is because Washington most likely will not beat Oregon in a rematch. Neutral site, Oregon wins that game. That's why Oregon beats their ass on the neutral site.
Oregon is more physical, but the quarterback play, you can't discount.
Bo Nix has gotten better.
Because he's fucking almost my age, Jay. What do you want me to tell you?
Right, exactly. So I'm not going to nullify that because, Bo Nix will probably win that game for them next time they play. And so if they play in the Pac-12 championship game, Oregon's going to win it. Oregon's going to jump them. Rightfully so, because they lost.
I would put a bet on that with you, honestly, if they got to play again somehow.
Oh, they're going to. Because
if that happens, I will text you and say, Jay, 20 spot on Venmo.
Yeah, we got it. I'm down for it.
Oh, we down
for it. The question is going to be
20
can
spot.
both Oregon and Washington get through Oregon State, which the way it looks, they both should be fine.
Okay.
They'll make it. They'll play.
To my point, I have 1 point to make. So with the teams, this is the teams that Oregon State Washington has played this year, with Oregon State being the icing on the cake. As ladies and gentlemen, we were joined by Hunter Renfrow stunt double, the brains behind High-Low Sports, and the beauty. Sorry, Kelsey. Ladies and gentlemen, Colts fan, Sooners fan, and just an all-around great gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Stewart.
Always a pleasure. One of your better intros so far. I'm proud. It's getting better. You're starting to redeem yourself from that John Gannon BS that I'm still
Don't
holding
mention that horrible human's name.
You put him and my name in the same sentence. That's much worse than me saying it out loud.
Fair enough. DJ, right now we're talking. I have a beef with the NCAA disrespecting Washington after watching my Hurricanes basically put Florida State in the ropes. I'm considering them frauds. At least they should be the 8th best team in the country because I think, honestly, every team that's ranked behind them up to Alabama would kick their ass, in my opinion. But that being said, I'm just making a point right now. So Arizona's ranked right now. They beat tough game. It looked bad at the start, but now we're realizing Arizona's actually a good football team. Oregon, best game of the year. That might be college football game of the year. That was one of the best ones I ever watched. Arizona State played them tough. It was after Oregon, so I'll give them a benefit of the doubt from not being able to put up a lot of points, but Arizona State always played them tough. Stanford was the ugly win. Stanford was the one where I was like, all right, not great, because I don't even think Stanford knows how to play football anymore since Andrew Luck left. I'm not sure. USC, listen, that was a shootout. I will say that their defense looked like shit. Caleb was a pro quarterback, but still. Utah, ranked team. It's not a bad resume. That's all I'm saying.
I get that. Utah also is playing with their third-string quarterback that's a walk-on. So, and they're winning some games. Might end up being
a first-round pick the way he's fucking playing last game.
I mean, the way he's playing, yeah. I mean, he's winning games, so there's a good chance that happening. But, I mean, as of right now, the way Washington wouldn't be favored. They wouldn't be favored over a lot of teams. Probably anybody in the top 10 right now. If they played on a neutral site, they wouldn't be. Because a lot of people question their wide receiver room is elite. The quarterback play is elite. Their defense is not very good. And if you put enough pressure on Penix, we watched that against Arizona State, he folds. Mm-hmm. So because of that, and at the same time, he did have the flu, but, I digress. That's the real issue that you have with Washington is a lot of teams still don't believe in them, in which I don't either. I think they're a really good team. I don't believe they have to prove to me by winning a game against someone soundly for me to say, okay, because in that Oregon game, they almost lost it at home.
Yeah, I know.
So,
listen,
granted, so let me see what they look like in the Pac-12 championship, neutral site, two teams just coming in there. Then at that point, I may change my opinion of them. But I don't think they beat Oregon the second time. I think Dan Lanning's got them boys playing out their minds right now. And defensively, they're looking better and better. They're looking better. So I get the beef with the Noles. I don't understand what made you think the NCAA ever does anything right. So I'm kind of confused.
Oh, no. I'm just saying the bar is so incredibly low, and they still found a way to get under it.
Exactly. But at the same time, Florida State's going to play Louisville for the ACC championship game because Louisville has only lost one game in conference. This season, actually. No games in conference. So I expect Louisville to meet them in the actually one game in conference. They lost to Pitt, which was absurd. But, yeah, I expect Louisville and Jeff Brom to see.
It's just Pitt doing Pitt.
That's going to be a game because Brom can coach. He can coach. We've watched him at Purdue do some stupid stuff over the last few years. Hell, I mean, he's pulled some upsets against Ohio State at their best. So I anticipate that one being the real challenge as long as they beat Miami on the road. Sorry, Jared. As well as Kentucky. Well, Kentucky doesn't matter. They beat Miami. They're headed to the ACC championship game.
Yeah, they basically they beat out North Carolina. Losing to Georgia Tech screwed them.
Yep.
It screwed them. Yeah. But then again, Georgia Tech's like the hardest team to play in the ACC this year. Nobody knows why. They fire their defensive coordinator. They turn into a decent team. It makes no fucking sense.
It's weird. It's the weirdest thing in the world. But that's the thing about it. So,
first game. Yeah,
Florida State's going to have a battle with Louisville. And then that game as well as Washington, Oregon will probably determine a lot of stuff. And then, of course, the problem is when Washington loses, if Florida State doesn't win, there's a chance you're going to have two SEC teams in the playoffs once again, which will be Bama, Georgia, because I think Bama beats Georgia in the SEC championship this year.
Yeah, I don't trust Georgia's quarterback. I really don't. I think he needs another year of cooking. I think he needs another year of cooking in the oven. I really do. So here's the thing. Vegas odds, early odds, tell me something with college football. Especially when your team is usually the underdog. So my Hurricanes have not really been good since 2017. Even before that, it was like 2006. We're 1-point dogs at home. against Louisville. I think, Jay, hear me out. You've got you got Tyler Van Dyke's last dance because he knows he ain't coming back. He's either transferring out or he's going to the draft. You have Louisville thinking, okay, we win this. We have a walk-in game the following week because I believe they play like a cupcake game to end their season. I think it's Kentucky, right? Is that how the game ends? Battle of Kentucky is the end of the game, so it's not cupcake, but
yes,
it is. Yeah, Battle of Kentucky. So they're looking forward to Kentucky because that's their bit. That's the battle for the state right there.
That's the bragging rights game.
That's the bragging rights
I think
game.
they do pay attention to you all heavily because that win stamps them into the ACC championship
It does.
game.
It stamps it, right? But I also think, and this is, I may call my team a garbage can team, but we've only gotten beaten badly by one team all year, and that's North Carolina. Everyone else, we were into the last possession, even in all of our losses. So, that being said, I'm just saying, if you want an easy money line booster, Miami over Louisville ain't a bad swing. If you're looking to throw a free bet down or a dollar down, I'm just saying.
What's that spread?
It's -1 right now. It's basically a pick'em.
Yeah,
it might have shifted
on
since
the road. So it's jumped up to 2. Opened it to drop to. Actually, Miami's a 1-point favorite now.
Yeah, no, it swung.
It shifted. It moved from -2 Louisville to -1 Miami. That is interesting. What's the traffic look like? That's what I haven't looked at today. Let me see what the traffic looks like.
Fair enough. All right, so listen, right? So Miami's losses this year: North Carolina, Georgia Tech, and then Florida State, right? And NC State was Tyler Van Dyke's like, okay, this guy's not a pro quarterback. When they win their games, they keep the quarterback in the pocket. They hit him. They force turnovers. That's they beat Clemson. That's how they almost beat Florida State. I'm saying Louisville should watch out. But my biggest beef with the NCAA is I hate this stupid 2-year transition rule. James Madison deserves to be in a bowl game. They deserve to win the Sun Belt for their game right now.
Yeah, they do.
I sit here. It's an abomination watching it.
It's a terrible rule by the NCAA, but it's the NCAA though. They do stupid shit like that all the time. That's their MO. We've known them for being this. I mean, look at look at any incident that's ever happened in college football. They're pretty awful at their jobs.
Fair enough. All right, we got a fancy question in the comments. Anyone want to tackle this one? It's a tight end question. Even though R.I.P. to Mason, man, he no longer a member of the show. My man had to do other stuff. But guys saying Kempt or Ingram, I can't even pronounce it. Cole Kempt, whatever the fuck the Bears head end's name is, or Ingram. I am partial to Ingram because I am always a fan of a tight end who can stretch it. Also, I don't trust the Bears offense at all. But I'm for Ingram here. Anybody gonna offer a?
I'll throw a curveball in there and say, Justin Fields is, I'll stick with Ingram on this one because I was just answered my question as I was about to say it. Justin Fields is back, which means there's going to be a lot of running. Tyler Bagent was passing the football a lot more than Justin Fields. Justin Fields, this could be a game where he has 100-something rushing yards and maybe 125 passing. Titans defense, surprisingly, is actually amazing against tight end. Titans defense is actually very good against opposing tight ends in coverage. Looking up Ingram's fantasy things, I have him on my bench right now. The Titans have, I think, the number 1 defense in fantasy against the tight ends with the production-wise, obviously. So, but at the same time, I trust Trevor Lawrence. I trust that offense a lot more than the Bears right now. And even Fields coming back, obviously he's a lot better of an option than Bagent, but I think he's going to run the ball a lot more. I think you're going to get a lot of more production from DJ Moore from Justin Fields. So I'd go with Ingram this week.
I'm taking Cole Kmet and I'm running away with it so far as well, too. Fantasy purpose-wise, it has not even really been that close between the two of them. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields, but not this year. Yes, they have 10 total touchdowns offensively from Trevor Lawrence passing. Cole Kmet has 5 touchdowns by himself. Ed Ingram has 0. Their yards and receptions are within 10 of each other. So I'm going to take Cole Kmet for fantasy purposes.
All right, fair enough. Intern, you got anything on this one?
I'm gonna take
non-intern
promotion. Yeah, I'm gonna take Komet as well. I don't know. I think with Fields coming back, it's gonna pick up his production even more. Even though, like DJ said, he already has 5 touchdowns as it is. Ingram, I mean, they have like 4 or 5 weapons in Jacksonville, so you never know who's gonna get the ball.
Outside of Etienne, I think it's really like Calvin Ridley is almost like not even existing.
It's crazy.
Outside of Etienne, it's really you're throwing the ball to Kirk or Ingram at this point. But either way, I think either one's a good choice. I think Komet's, there's a lot of statistical stats in his favor. Either should be fine, but go whichever one. Popular vote right now is Komet.
Start them both. Put one at the tight end, one at the flex.
I'm in a fantasy league with this said person, and I don't think we get to have we can start flex tight end or whatever. I don't even know. Might be able to. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to sell Mostert right now just because of Shane's coming back. I'm worried about that production.
You know what? I'm holding Mostert. I have a weird feeling. Maybe it's optimism that he's won me a couple weeks. I think Achan's going to take a little time getting back acclimated. And honestly,
he's also been hurt twice this season already, and we're still like at that halfway point. So I'm thinking, I could get hurt a third time. I called
Moser in my league too fast, too injured, and he's kind of stayed off the injury roster. So gotta love Sleeper App, by the way. Shout out to Sleeper App for allowing me to give my players all nicknames. It just makes things fun. Also, by the way, if you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, it literally, if you have anything about the Sun God and his nickname, it gives him this crazy fucking headpiece around his headshot, so he looks like an actual sun god. It's actually pretty fucking cool. That being said, folks, we got a loaded show to go to. So that being said, folks, it's time for everyone's favorite time of the week, presented by the amazing people at Camps.com. Promo code BELLYUP for 20% off. These people give you the best flavors for all of your dip alternative solutions. Grown here in the United States, California hemp, 10 milligrams of CBD per pouch. They actually have heavier ones now, which I think are up to 25 for mint. I don't know. I got to order tomorrow. I literally went 3 months without ordering because I bought so much back in the summer. Just a great company. Check them out. Candips.com, promo code BELLYUP 20% off. Official sponsor of the corner booth, BELLYUP Sports, and the Six Pack. Let's get it going. All righty. We're headed to the Pacific Passing League. That is the Pac-12. We're going Utah, Arizona. Gentlemen, Arizona has kind of been like the little darling team of the Pac-12 this year. They haven't really been good. I think since Nick Foles was playing quarterback. Utah with their cattle farmer, third stringer, whoever the hell this guy is, whose name I can't remember this guy's name at this point. That being said, it's going to be a fun game. I'm here for it. So, gentlemen, I'll start it off right now. Who's winning this game? We'll start with Matt, and we'll work around because he's the leader in the clubhouse still.
Yeah, this was one I was going back and forth with, and it really comes down to, who's this be for Utah right now. So I think I'm going to go with the safe option and take the favored opponent right now, Arizona. I know it doesn't really matter, -1. It's really a toss-up. You're just picking straight up 50-50 winner, but I'll take my chances with Arizona this week.
There you go. Mr. Chris.
I'm going the other way. I'm going to take Utah just because, again, the line's pretty small as it is, but just a gut feeling. Also, I need points, so pick an opposite of Matt.
I'm rolling with my brother in solidarity. Chris, I'm rolling with you as well. Matt's been on a cold streak betting college the past 2 weeks. I'm thinking it's continue. Also, something about Arizona. Something.
You know who went there? James Harden. Talked about James Harden earlier.
He went to Arizona State, you dummy.
Nah, you're right. Whoops. Party school.
He had the first part right.
Wrong. Yeah, right.
Sun Devil.
There's just something odd about this Arizona team. Every time I try to get behind what they're about, I'm just kind of yeah, but yeah, all right. They kind of scream is that that random Big 12, Pac-12 team. that just has a couple easy wins and then keeps a game close, and they somehow find themselves in the rankings toward the end of the year, because there's always that one team every year. I think this year it is Arizona. I got Utah. So, yeah. Mr. Smith.
So Noah Fafita, the quarterback at Arizona, man, he's a freshman, number one. Walks in there when their starting quarterback gets hurt, and he's just led a charge that I'm here for. 7-3 so far, 5-2 in conference. Shocked everybody. I mean, they took USC to overtime, which granted USC isn't that great, but at the same time, Arizona's been one of the worst teams in college football the last 2 years, right? They're showing something that I am and then I'm shocked about. And Jonah Coleman, their running back, is stupid. Last week against Colorado, 11 carries, 179 yards, 16 yards a carry. That's all I need to know on that. I'm going to ride with them just because I like Barnes. I like what Barnes has done for Utah as the new starter since Cam Rising has basically been down. But I'm not sold on the junior quarterback that much in this game. But Utah's defense is stout. I just don't think their defense really slows down what Noah Fafita and Arizona's doing. I'm riding with Arizona to cover that spread. It's only -1.
All right. Mr. Stewart, you're the rubber match here.
I'm going to go ahead and take Arizona as well. I like Utah. They're very well coached. They do well against teams they shouldn't beat, like the top 5, 10 teams like they did the USC twice last year, what they almost did to Washington. They beat the teams that are way up there more often than not or get really close. The teams close to them like Arizona here, the ones they seem to stagnate against a bit. So I'll take Arizona. You can't have the injuries they have and keep rolling.
Fair enough. All right. We're moving to this one, the Battle of Kansas. I love that both these teams are ranked, by the way. Like, I saw this matchup today. It just made me happy. I'm like, yes. Both these teams have cost me and won me money this season. And also, like, I have no hatred towards both these football programs. They're just fun to watch. That being said, Kansas finds itself back in the top 25 here. Kansas State always is kind of like that bottom end of the top 25 every year. That being said, I made a Deuce Vaughn joke for a second. Gentlemen, how are we feeling about this one? DJ, I'll start with you since you're rocking the purple.
It's blue, but we're gonna go ahead and take Kansas.
Violet. All right.
It is completely and utterly blue. Like it is.
I don't know, maybe it's your lighting.
It probably is, but either way, we're going to take Kansas to cover, but K-State to win. I think it'll be weirdly close being that interstate rivalry game. So I think 7.5 is a bit of a steep spread. I'm thinking it'll be like a 4 point game. So Kansas will cover, but K-State will win.
Fair enough. Mr. Matt.
So I don't know if it was my the dyslexia or something kicking in, but when I saw this banner, there's a lot of 2s, a lot of Ks, a lot of S's going on, and I was reading this, and I had to look at this about 3 or 4 times because I couldn't figure out who was who for a minute. Now that I finally got it focused, I'm going to take K-State.
Oh, it's up to 9.5. By the way, the line just changed again for Kansas.
Yeah, it's now -9.5 for Kansas.
Yeah, I will change this. I apologize for the folks at home. Now my laptop wants to start having a seizure.
The corner booth is not responsible for any misinformation that might involve betting
the spread
profits or losses.
K-State -7.5. So, but I definitely put that as a plus right there next to the Kansas team.
Yeah. I'm taking K-State with this one.
There we go. Now we're good. Yeah, I'm going to take K-State as well. Here's the problem. Every time I try to put money on Kansas when they're like a dog, they screw me. They'll cover. And listen, you talk to my my boss who watches the show, shout out to Mike. He has bet on Kansas multiple times. We always have jokes about this. I asked if you want to do a CEO's bet of the week, and we have a running joke about how he can never bet on Kansas. So I'm going to take his advice and not bet on Kansas. Give me Kansas State by a fucking mile. Not in the score, but just in how I'm going to pick this game. I don't trust the Jayhawks when it comes to gambling anymore. They burned me twice now. Kansas State's only burned me once. All right, who wants to go next?
Volunteers? I'll grab this one. So it appears that Jason Bean is supposed to be playing in this game, which is Kansas' backup quarterback, yet starting quarterback the last 2 years, because Jalen Daniels is done for the year, and he's already stated in a statement that he's going to return next season to Kansas if Lance Leipold is still there. I don't think Lance is going to be there, so that means Jalen Daniels is going to transfer wherever, probably either with where his coach is going or he's going to another bigger program. But I digress. Beans looks like Bean's going to play. If Bean plays, I think Bean does a lot of stuff to Kansas State that Kansas State doesn't like. I think Kansas covers this spread. 10 is kind of high. Everybody's piling on and taking the Kansas State money, and that just feels like suicide to me. Yep, all of the tickets and the money's on Kansas State, and of course the spread's moving up. So traditionally, that means that you probably should ride with Kansas State because Vegas is trying to get more people to take the Kansas bet, and nobody's taking the Kansas bet. I think Kansas covers this 9.5. That just feels too high for me, especially at home. And I don't think Kansas State is 10 points better than Kansas. I think Kansas State is 5 points better than Kansas, but I don't think Kansas State is 10 points better than Kansas. I'm riding with the Jayhawks.
My issue, and this really what it comes down to, is I don't trust when Vegas starts shifting, like you said, Vegas starts shifting lines. I also don't trust a game where you've got a backup coming in and bowl implications are on the line. It's a rivalry. Everything gets cloudy.
I mean, he has 20 starts now.
Oh, I know. I'm not calling him a typical backup.
He's not your traditional backup.
No,
he started most of last season.
It's like Cam Rising when he came in. I'm like, okay, this guy was a starter. Like or not Cam Rising. Who's the guy I'm thinking of?
Bryson Barnes.
Yes. Like, and then also the kid at Texas Christian before they showed everyone they were just literally Max Duggan on a miracle run. Like the kid who's backing up Texas Christian. Either way. Intern, you're finishing up here. Who are you taking?
I'm going to go K-State. The only time I bet Kansas, only time I bet Rock Chalk is in basketball. So I'm taking.
I still don't want to talk about it. 2022 still hurts my head a little bit. All right. Moving on to the game we've all been waiting for in college football this week. This is, I think, the premier game of the weekend. The fact that College Game Day didn't want to go to Corvallis is kind of insulting to me. Shout out to JMU for getting another game day. Washington, Oregon State at -4. See, I went on this fucking biblical rant before, gentlemen. I cannot, in good conscience, not back the Huskies. They're my proxy team this year. I am a big Michael Penix fan. I love watching him play. His release drives me fucking crazy, but damn, does he throw a beautiful deep ball. I'm going with the Huskies here. I got to back them. As much as I love the DJU redemption arc in Corvallis and also fuck Clemson and everything they stand for, I think this is where Oregon State makes this close. I think they might even cover, but I think it's going to come down to the final throw, and Washington's just going to have just quarterback play is going to win in the end, and I think Penix over DJ.
So this spread right now is Oregon State -1.
How did it switch again?
There's a lot of growth in the idea that Oregon State's going to win this game.
I checked this. When did I send you guys the games today? 3:00 in the afternoon,
something like that. You had Oregon State 2.5. Whenever you send it at 2:30.
Yeah, now it's Oregon State -1. It's like what the shit?
3:00. Yeah.
Shoot, I'm like getting like pissed at at Caesars right now.
FanDuel also has Oregon State ranked at number 10, not 11. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, ESPN has them at 11 still.
Yeah, the college football playoff has them at 11. So that's what
Either
everybody
way.
goes off of.
Well, you're also referring to Scam Duel, so that's on you.
Yeah, number 10 is AP. AP poll is 10.
I like the blue. It's a nice.
Give me DraftKings. Give me that black and green, baby.
They scam me all the time.
AP and Coach has Oregon State as 10, but the college football playoffs is 11, which is the only thing that matters is the playoff. So, yeah.
Doesn't change my opinion. Give me Washington. I think everyone putting too much on this. Yeah. I think the problem is Washington's going to prove, I think, another week of them being left out of the top 4. I think this keeps them going. If they're going to step up, they're going to step. I think I'm going to back them. This is what it's going to be, but
I'm gonna stick with you with this one. I'm gonna stick with Washington as well and take Michael Penix over Oregon State for this week. I do have a random question for you guys. I'm only asking this in the middle of this segment because I have about 10 minutes to make this decision. Joe Burrow tonight against Baltimore's defense or Kyler Murray against Houston for fantasy quarterback wise. Only asking this at this very moment because I have about 10 minutes to do this.
Kyler,
and I just forgot.
because Houston's secondary is inconsistent where Baltimore's is just mean. Like tonight might be a final score of 20-13.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an amazing game. I can't wait to watch, but it's gonna be 20-13 final.
It's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be a slugfest. They hate each other too.
Yeah, it's a division game. It's all rugged. Yeah.
I'm actually excited to watch a Thursday night football game that's not my Eagles. This is a scary prospect.
Yeah, no stress.
I can see this being a great game, and I can also see this being a game where Joe Burrow has like 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and like a fumble or some wild shit, and I'm like, I got like 18 points.
Fair enough. All right, Deej, go pick.
I'm taking Washington, and I'm taking them comfortably. If it's a 10-point spread, I'm going to take them. I missed your biblical ranks. I was a little late, but I think they should be ranked number 2, honestly, behind Georgia.
Thank you.
Florida State.
Friends.
I think Michigan's overrated. Michigan should be 5. They are the ultimate can crushers until they finally beat Penn State. You look at the rest of their schedule; it is tomato cans. It looks like a pantry. Ohio State the same way, just you throw in Notre Dame as well too. So one of those two could be a 4. I'll give it to Ohio State for the Notre Dame win. Washington has 3 ranked wins already.
Friends right now. You're like, this is why we're friends, because this like
Florida State, I think, could still sit in that 3 spot because that LSU win at the beginning of the season. It's not always perfect, but I think Washington should be 2 or 3, so I think they're going to roll this one by 10. Maybe not.
Right.
DJ's taking them comfortably, like he's sitting by the fire in his Snuggie and his nice little furry slippers and everything.
If I had any of those things, I'd be doing it.
No, I could definitely see DJ having a Snuggie.
I wish.
Chris,
I wouldn't be here if I had a Snuggie. I'd be tucked in.
Yeah, I'm going to back you guys here. I'm going to take Washington.
All right, we got 4 for Washington. Jay, are you lone wolfing?
Yep, I'm going with Oregon State. I think this is the upset that Washington takes and pushes them right out of the playoffs.
This guy, Michigan fan.
Just saying. Right now, Oregon State's playing some really good football. They're,
nice, right?
Playing up.
You get that?
Lone wolf, man. I don't think that they lose this one. I think they go out there and give Washington fits. Washington's defense, like I said, is Swiss cheese. You can throw on them with ease. And I see Oregon State doing that to them. So I'm going to go with them.
We lost the host.
All right, I'm taking over. We're moving to.
That's what I'm talking about. Next game.
I don't have the button.
I got no authority in this. I got no
controls.
banner. I think DJ's our resident. Like he's can do everything for us. I don't know what the next game is either. There he is.
I'm back. Sorry. I don't know what the fuck just happened. This is why, like, the trackpad on laptops is like the devil.
I almost took over.
All right, yeah.
It's Chris's like next game, and he's like, I don't know how to do this.
I was like, you don't know what a button is here.
We got the next game coming up. We're going to NFL because this game kicks off in like 8 minutes. I know everyone's got to get their bets in. So, Bengals, Ravens, Thursday Night Football, the slugfest of the weekend. I've wanted to pick the Bengals all week. The Ravens have let me down last 2 weeks in a row. I haven't made the choice yet. So, DJ, I'll start with you because you're my sage counsel.
That is a bad decision right now.
It is, but you know what? You're my friend, so I'll do it.
I hate this game. I didn't want to pick first either. That's why I'm not happy about this.
Fine, Matt picks first.
Here we go.
I'll go first. I'm not afraid. What am I? All right. Anyways,
first place.
All right. Well, I had a pick, and then I forgot what I was going to do now. But so this is going to be a close game. As long as it's a close game, I got the Ravens winning this. If the Ravens somehow come out to like a nice 13-0 start, they got a double-digit lead, they're going to somehow figure out the squander, and they're going to lose. So as long as it is a tight game, I am taking the Ravens because the Ravens cannot hold a double-digit lead to save their lives. But I'm going with the defense here. So give me the Ravens over the Bengals because I got an upset pick somewhere else. I can take this on.
Nice.
Because he did that, I'm going to take the Bengals. I think they lose this one. They are all but toast. They need it a little bit more because if they lose this one, they basically have to go 6-1 the rest of the way to have a chance at the playoffs. So I'm going to say the Bengals find a way to survive this one.
I don't know how to pick. anticipate this one.
Jay. I'll go ahead and jump in here. I'm gonna take the Ravens -4 or 3.5, whichever one it is at this current moment. I think that I know Lamar and the offense is tired of the defense squandering away all these leads. So I see them trying to find a way to just eat as much clock as possible. So I sense that they'll go out there and win it by maybe 5 points. It'll be a close game because it is a divisional rivalry. It's the AFC North, and they're the most physical division in the NFL every year. But I think the Ravens go ahead and close this out. They need to do what they need to do to secure themselves a potential first round bye. Give me the Ravens.
All right. I'm going to roll a J here. I every time I try to pick against Lamar, he burns me. Every time I try to pick with Lamar, he burns me. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I'm even money. I'm going with the team who I picked to win the AFC. Give me the Ravens here. Chris, you're up.
I mean, both teams came off a pretty bad loss. This is tough. AFC North, tough
games
game.
In Baltimore.
In Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
The game's in Baltimore.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a big factor. But something tells me the Bengals are going to win this game. I don't know why.
It might be that stale Miller Lite.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I got a Miller Lite T-shirt on underneath this, by the way. Sponsored them tonight. Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals. I got to go different, man. I need these points. Matt, you took the Ravens, right?
I did. And my man B. Jor in the comments, if you were listening, tell Jazzy I'm sorry that I did not pick her Bengals, but it's just strictly business.
Also,
my buddy in the comments, his daughter is a big Bengals fan.
Joey B went to LSU. I can't pick against my guy.
There you go.
Both teams' injury reports look like CVS receipts going into this game, too. So it's going to be who can break the least amount of this game by the end of it.
All right.
You got a phone number with CVS?
All right, we're next up. We're on the clock here because I know the games are starting soon. Cardinals, Texans. This game wasn't going to be fun until CJ Stroud versus Kyler Murray. I'm here for this. This is going to be fucking fun. I am excited for this. My buddy from the gym texted me. He goes, yo, you want to come watch some games with me on Sunday? We'll go to the bar. I'm like, all right, bet. He goes, what's the game you're excited for? I'm like, I was looking. I'm like, I love Vegas versus Miami. I think that game's going to be weird. I love, who's the other one? I was like excited. I was excited for Pittsburgh versus Cleveland because it's two inept offenses playing each other. But the game that makes me the happiest is this one because I just feel like it's going to be a fucking shootout from start to damn finish.
Yeah, this one right here is actually going to be my upset pick. I'm going to take the Cardinals over on this one. The last time I had this like weird gut feeling, I went against it and I didn't pick them, and I forgot what the team was, but it was one where we all chose them as a favorite in college, and that was an upset that I did not get the points for because I did not pick the winner. But Kyler's back. Kyler's playing for his, let's be honest, Kyler, I know he's got a contract. Kyler's playing for his spot on the Cardinals because the Cardinals are in an easy position where they can give him the Josh Rosen treatment as he, gave to Josh, and they could ship him out for Penix or Caleb Williams and just trade him for somebody else. And so right now I think he's performing in a pace where he's like, I got to show them that I'm their franchise quarterback and they don't need to find somebody else in the draft. So I think he's going to use his legs a lot. I think he's going to throw the ball. And it's going to be a very tight game. CJ Stroud is looking fantastic as a rookie right now, but I'm going to take the Cardinals with an upset. The Texans have been on a high, and I think they're going to take just a one quick low blow this week. So give me the Cardinals as an upset pick.
Nice. I love everything you just said. I'm going to take the Texans.
It's a gamble, but
Well, here's the thing is, I have been a CJ Stroud stan since like legit April draft. Even though Kelsey has this weird thing in his head where he thinks I didn't pick against them. I mean, I didn't pick CJ. I took Bryce Young and Will Levis. Listen, Connecticut boy, I love Will Levis, but CJ Stroud won me over when I watched him single-handedly take Georgia to the fucking limit last year. I'm like, all right, I love this kid. There's no doubt in my mind. So that being said, I can't pick against CJ. I'm rolling with him. So, and I said it on, commented on DJ's show last night. I said CJ's locked for rookie of the year. Texans, I'm sitting pretty. I took them at 8+ wins. I'm sitting with this one. Cardinals, it's going to be tough. Kyler got a lucky win because Arthur Smith has the football IQ of a potato.
Don't you insult potatoes that way. You watch your mouth.
Football. He's a football IQ of an empty beer can.
That's more okay.
That being said, also, by the way, my parlay for this week for the corner booth was so high for it's at plus 1,000. So I put $10 down. I could win $1,000. Either way, I love the Texans. I love the grittiness they play with. I love how hard they run the football. It doesn't matter who they hand the ball off to. Damian Pierce, I hate you. Nico Collins, my dude. Noah Brown, welcome to the free part of Texas. And also Tank Dell, who Matt called during our post-draft special, was going to be a difference maker. So, Matty, I give you credit there. So, that being said, Texans, go. Who wants next? Because
I'll take it. Give me I do love the way that CJ Stroud is playing. He's walking in as a freshman, as a rook, trying to take MVP honors, right? His name is in that conversation because statistically he's doing everything possible to make himself an MVP candidate. So I'm really high on what Houston's doing. I didn't think Houston was pretty much gutted when Bill O'Brien decided to trade every single draft pick they have for the next 20 years and send their best players away at the same time. Is really weird setup, but it's Bill O'Brien. It's something you can expect. But as of right now, Houston's playing out of their mind, and Kyler is still trying to shake the rust off. He's shown some moments where he is, but I don't think they have it. Give me Houston win to cover this one.
All right. Intern.
I'm gonna roll with the Stroud boys. I've been picking against them lately. I don't know why I keep doing that. I just keep thinking this is gonna be the week where Stroud takes a step back and the other team's gonna win. But it's Kyler's second game back. He's been out for half the year. They barely beat the Falcons last week, so yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Stroud boys at home, taking the Texans.
Nice. DJ, I'll leave you.
Either way, the Cardinals win because if they lose, their draft pick gets better. If they win, the Texans' draft pick gets better for them. So they're cooking with fire either way. I'm gonna say the Texans will win, but the Cardinals will cover. I think it's whatever the over is. I might be poking that one just a little bit too.
Nice. Also, by the way, Justin Jefferson is probably playing this week. So me and DJ and Matt's fantasy league. I got JJ back. I'm hyped, man. I'm about to come back. The comeback is real.
Yeah.
I'm down a touchdown still.
I'm gonna start blasting Creed. Don't y'all make me.
Well, that's good for me. See you guys later then.
Listen, I started playing in the middle of the show on Tuesday, man.
Fun fact: Creed's coming to Connecticut next summer.
Maddie, we're going to Creed.
$90 a ticket. I'll see.
Fuck yeah, we're doing it. We're going to Creed. Listen, I started blasting Creed in the office when I needed a sales call to go through, and they started going through. I believe in the magic of that song.
Just channel your inner 90s punk rock emo phase kind of thing, and you'll be fine.
You mean like new wave Christian? But yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Monday Night Football Super Bowl rematch. This episode was titled Operation Payback for a reason. I have been sitting in pain since last February. I have never felt I was so sad and so angry and depressed. February, whatever it was, 13th, 14th, fuck Valentine's Day. It was whatever, Valentine's Day weekend or the week before, it doesn't fucking matter. When I had to watch my birds lose to TikTok boy, the less attractive Kelsey, and Kermit the Frog. That being said, the Chiefs are a very good football team and a very good football organization. I respect, fear, and understand why they're good. That being said, Chris, you know what I'm about to say. I'm not even going to play no Meek Mill, no Eagles fight song. This is fucking personal. I don't give a fuck what happens in the Super Bowl. I do, obviously, but I don't know if the Chiefs will go back to the Super Bowl this year. I don't know if we will. I hope we will. We should. We're the number one seed. But the Ravens, good. Dolphins, I don't know. The AFC's weird. Either way, go Birds.
Go fucking Birds, dude.
Go fucking Birds.
You already know my pick too. I don't even have to go through this whole monologue. Go.
This
fucking
isn't even
Birds,
for
dude.
betting. This is just for fucking pride. Go fucking Birds.
I might fly to Arrowhead just to go to some local bar, just to, create some ruckus.
He's like, where are you here for the game? Nah, I paid all this money to you guys shit in this random local bar. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Chris is out here just causing a public disturbance
Yeah.
in the middle of Kansas
I'm pretty
City.
good at that. Bad comment. Didn't like that comment. Idiots win football games. Remember that.
There's no moral
I'm gonna,
victories, just wins.
right.
I'm gonna go with I'm going with the Eagles. I'm also going with the strategy that I know Chris is also going Eagles. So if I go Eagles and you guys lose, then we're all kind of even. So like I don't need to pick the Chiefs, and if I lose, then I'm down a point. But also I do think, let's break it down.
Listen, I don't think you've missed on many NFL games this year. So like I think this game does not mean shit to me in the terms of the 6-pack. This game means more on my personal pride. I want to see Hassan Reddick and Jalen Carter smush Mahomes. That is what I want to see them do. Like literally crush him in the pocket.
Dude had a leg injury, and then he runs for 40 yards to fucking ice the game.
But like to break it down, so like you look at the Chiefs, like Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis Kelce is who you got to contain. It doesn't really matter about Rashee Rice. It doesn't matter about like MVS. It doesn't matter about like Kadarius Toney. Mecole Hardman's been up and down. He's just really the special teams guy. And then on the defensive side, you got Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed. But outside of all that, like I'm more scared of Jalen Hurts, DeAndre Swift, Devonta Smith, AJ Brown, and that entire defensive line. Like that ball should not get past that line because they should be all over Patrick Mahomes this week. And I know the refs will probably have something to do with that, but everything. I'm eating away at that plus 190 whatever because I know it's the Chiefs and everything, but at the end of the day, this should be an Eagles game. The better, much better defense. I think they got a lot better efficient offense. Everything screams the Eagles, and I hope and pray that this isn't some sort of trap game where everybody bites on it and it doesn't work out for them. But I'm picking the Eagles here on paper and everything else. This screams the Eagles are the much better team.
Well, this is game one of the Eagles gauntlet. So yeah, let's
it's just there's something about being that team that lost in the Super Bowl for some controversial shit, and then you're playing them again the following year. There's just something about that where you're like, how can you not pick that team to win?
Fair enough. All right, Deej.
If Taylor Swift is in attendance, the Chiefs are going to roll by 25. But if she's not there, it gets a whole lot more interesting.
She's going to be in Brazil.
She's an Eagles fan, by the way.
Yeah, but when Brazil attendance, Travis Kelce suddenly turns into 2019 Travis Kelce. That's a whole different animal. But I digress. What I will say is the Eagles' pass defense this year kind of worries me. If they don't get a sack, they give up chunk plays. And while the Chiefs have been spotty throwing the ball this year, if you give them an inch, they take a mile. We saw it with the Chargers, the Bears, that sort of team. If you give them an inch, they will take the mile. I don't like really the spread either way. 3.5. I think it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 point game. So I'm going to say the Eagles will cover that 3.5 point spread, but I still am leaning towards the Chiefs because that is a top 5 defense nonetheless. That has been a fantastic defense this year, and the Eagles' pass defense concerns me. So I'm going to lean towards the Chiefs, but I don't like it. I'm keeping my money to myself on this one. I'm going to sit back with the TV on mute and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's going to
not enough alcohol in the world to make it okay.
I like that.
Fest.
I like that we're going to listening to it on mute. Watching the game on mute, that way you don't hear anything about the Swifties or anything like that. That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
This is an Arrowhead.
How would you feel?
Let's say temperature-wise, 48 degrees, game time. It's going to be at night. It's going to be a little bit frosty, a little cold. Both teams are good and cold, so it's nothing to even be concerned about. I think I'm going to ride with, in this one, probably roll with the home team, go with the Chiefs to cover this one. I think the Eagles, though, will control more of the time of possession in this game. But I think Patrick Mahomes will do just enough to get them over the hump to win by a field goal minimum. Give me the Chiefs.
Plot twist too. I'm gonna take the under in this game. I think it's be a lot more defensively based than we'd expect.
45
I
and a
was
half.
also going to
Not
say
bad.
maybe take the under. I think that we're going to see a lot of field goals, a lot of run. Like this is going to be basically at one point DeAndre Swift versus Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, see that.
All
I
right.
see Taylor Swift in the box with a half Chiefs, half Eagles jersey, both for the Kelseys.
She'll wear the other half of the one Donna's wearing. The
Jay, we appreciate you stopping by. By the way, check out Unfair Sports on Twitter, on YouTube. We appreciate Jay for coming through and sticking through for the whole 6-pack. So, boys, Maddie, Chris, you got to get your 6-packs bets in. I will rant for the next 30 seconds about my gimme and upsets. My upset, give me the Raiders over the Dolphins.
I
listen.
don't know if that might
Something
happen.
about the Dolphins off a bye. The Raiders are fighting like demons. I'm really
I would love that.
liking this game. I love the physicality of the Raiders versus the Dolphins not being physical. So, that being said, my upset is the Raiders. That is why my parlay is $1,000 payout for a $6 bet. But that being said, Maddie, you taking an upset here?
I took the Cardinals as my upset, so my gimme for the week, no surprise to anybody if you know me. Go Tigers. I am taking LSU, if I remembered who they were playing, but just know that they are like minus like 20-something hundred or whatever it is. I got to find that out for you because I completely forgot who they're playing this week. LSU is my gimme, though. I do have an idea for a house upset if you guys are interested in doing one of those this week.
I'm good with it. Chris, pick your game first, though.
Okay, I am struggling here. I'm going to take the Titans over the Jags. The Jags are a better team on the road than they are at home. I saw statistically. Titans are +7. I like Will Levis. I'm taking the Titans.
Nice. Deej, do you have an upset or a gimme for us?
Ooh, an upsetter. Give me circle back to me really quickly.
All right, Maddie, house upset. Go.
All right. Well, yeah, like I was saying, LSU is my gimme. They're playing Georgia State. That's who the opponent is. House upset. Hear me out. Jets over Bills.
I was going to pick that as my. I was going to pick that as my.
I am on the breakup Josh and Haley train, so
I'm just.
I need my wife
listen.
back, so.
I'll be completely transparent with you guys. I had zero confidence going into this game at the beginning of the year. I thought we were going to beat them at home because of Rodgers. We wound up beating them without Rodgers, but I always knew no matter what happened, like we would at least split this series. However, Josh Allen has I believe he has the most interceptions in the league right now. He has continued to regress each game, each year without Brian Dable. They just fired Ken Dorsey, and do you guys know who they replaced him with? Joe Brady. How good did Joe Brady do in Carolina?
Give me the Jets by fucking 20.
So I'm expecting this to be a defensive debacle.
Fuck you, Buffalo. You fire my boy Kenny D. You're done.
Listen, I'm looking at this defensive line, and they've been sacking the quarterback a lot. I think they should get at least 5 this game. Hopefully an interception or 2. Zach Wilson, Breece Hall. That's who we're going to look at. Breece Hall is going to run the ball again. And, I'm thinking by a small margin, like maybe 3, but I'm thinking Jets house upset over the Bills.
Very nice. Very nice. I will take it. I'll roll with it.
I got it.
We got a fun one here. Believe it or not, the Vikings are underdogs to the Broncos. So give me Josh Dobbs to keep the train rolling.
Oh.
Don't get me started, Deej.
I love that pick.
Wow.
You're allowed to take it. You can take it as
That's
yours.
a bargain pick. Well, all right. Well, you know what? This might be good. Maybe this is good to take the betting advice, in a sense, from DJ, not Kelsey. Maybe you need to take the advice from DJ instead.
You know what? If it's a year-by-year basis with me, this year maybe not as much. If you'd asked me last year, you'd be a rich man.
Well, Kelsey made me feel bad about my house.
Kelsey just makes everyone feel bad about betting. But listen, boys, we got to believe.
Oh, boy.
Can you take me higher?
I'm sorry, DJ. I know how much you don't want to hear that shit. Listen, this music killed my World Series host, my Diamondbacks this year. I don't even care because you know what? It got me sales, and that's all I care about.
Never heard anybody say they hate Creed, so
No, nobody.
I'm on board.
Ooh, one more actually. North Carolina is a 7.5-point underdog to Clemson. Give me Drake May.
What?
Give me Drake
fuck
May.
yeah! I'm rolling with fucking North Carolina to roll fucking Clemson. Clemson.
Plus 260 money
Can
line.
we change your picture?
No, I'm still fucking rolling with Miami to fucking upset the Dolphins, but I already placed the bet. Vegas already has my money, so
he'll understand.
You're in that too, right?
Listen, listen. Any coach that shows up wearing black Air Force Ones is a fucking problem. Okay.
Yeah. No, we were laughing because you said you're still picking Miami to fuck up the Dolphins. So we were like, no, we understand what he's saying. He'll figure it out.
It's been a long day, guys. I've been running on like 5 hours of sleep the last month, so I can't. I'm loving these 2-day weekends again, guys. They're so great. All right,
Kelsey's starting some drama in the comments. Jared Woodrow with UNC. Is it bad I read that as Unk? Then I realized.
I mean, it's just Kelsey being better. Who cares? This is just what usually happens, because, people can't leave me alone. I didn't want to be a North Carolina basketball fan and then also be a Miami football fan and Miami for everything else, baseball, lacrosse, whatever, right? My love of Miami football and I picked Miami as my college when I was in college because my D2 team was ass. If I went to a D1 school, that would be my team. Like I was supposed to go to LSU. I would be an LSU fan, but I didn't. So, yeah, no.
That would have been pretty cool.
Miami, I ended up picking Miami my junior year of college, and that was it. North Carolina basketball has been a constant in my life since I was like 7. So I stuck with them. I tried to root for them in other sports. It just didn't feel right. So I just kind of stuck to basketball my entire young adult life. And then I've stuck with them ever since, man, from I think 2003 through now.
That explains why you look like Tyler Hansbrough.
Psycho T was my dog back in middle school, bro. I love Psycho T.
I just like Ty Lawson because I could look him eye to eye, but he was in the
Ty
NBA.
Lawson was the fastest motherfucker I've ever seen play on a basketball court.
Jose Flowers is about to score, guys.
Damn it, I traded him away.
Nice.
I got Debo for him.
Already? It's been 3 minutes.
Okay, not score. He just had a big old play.
Hey, that works. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do 2 rounds. I promised a little bit of corner booth knockout, so we're gonna do 4 rounds quick. All right, so we're gonna go. So Chris, we're starting off here in the power rankings. I believe we are leaving off with Titans versus Bears.
Yes.
That being said, I will start it off. Give me the Titans. I think Will Levis will have a better football career than Justin Fields. I think Mike Vrabel's a better coach. I think the Titans are a better organization. Give me the Titans.
So
wait.
I
just want to say, what if it's a 2-2 tie here?
My vote carries twice. I host the show.
Oh, that's fair, I guess. So I agree. So Mike Vrabel's a much better coach. Titans probably much better run organization. I'm not sold on Justin Fields just yet. I think he's hyped because he has that ability to just win the game with 170 something yards on the ground. But you're the quarterback, you got to throw the ball at the same time. But there's just one thing the Titans don't do, and they never address their defense. They get Jeffrey Simmons, and they think that they're all done, and everything's hunky-dory because they have a really good defensive end. But I don't know, man. I think I like the Bears here. The Titans go bargain shopping for a lot of things, especially the quarterback position. And like I said, they don't address the defense really. They'll put together a decent, solid offense, but they have nothing to help them secure points on the board, when the defense goes on the field. So I'll take the Bears for a longer shot, favorite to win Super Bowl compared to those two.
All right. Deej?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears because I think right now for the Titans, it's pretty much tanking season. I think they're at this point just like, what can Will Levis do? Let's let him play. And I think the Bears defense has been subtly a little bit better the last month or so. It's not good by any means, but it's a little bit better. And the Titans' pass defense is still kind of butt cheeks. I mean, Gardner Minshew had like 80% completion. I mean, he stinks. So that's all you need.
All right, Chris, am I a lone wolf in here?
Yeah. Fortunately, I'm going to take the Bears.
You little bastard. I promote you. This is what you do to me?
We still got the Eagles, though.
I mean, if this was like a playoff stints, but they just never capitalized on any of those.
Fair enough. All right, next up, Atlanta Falcons versus the Chicago Bears. So you guys
I'm gonna go with
yourselves because both teams deserve to burn in hell.
Yes, I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one. I think they're putting together a pretty solid team. I just think that they have to figure out the quarterback situation, and I think they're gonna slowly realize that Desmond Ritter is not the answer. But listen, the Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, add another receiver to that core. Defense, middle of the pack, slowly but surely, some just creeping up just a little bit, getting a little better every now and then. But really, the only thing they're missing to make some sort of run is a quarterback. So I will take not the Titans. I will take the Falcons in this situation. I think they have a much better structure currently.
All right,
guys. I think Mark Andrews' season just ended.
Don't say that because
don't say that.
He's on the ground and they cut to commercial. Like it did not look good.
Oh Jesus!
And it's a good thing I chose a prop bet of Mark Andrews 25 plus receiving yards in each half.
Well, you, my friend, just donated money to the Las Vegas charity fund.
And let me paint you a sad story real quick. I acquired Dallas Goedert 2 weeks later, lost Dallas Goedert to a broken bone or whatever it was, and then
a week later, Cowboys.
A week later, I acquired Mark Andrews, and here I am. Same amount of time that I had Dallas Goedert. I lost.
You're a freaking jinx. Quit touching players. You're killing me.
Hey, Matt, I need you to go pick up Patrick Mahomes.
Can you go grab the entire Jaguars and Houston rosters so I can see?
I need you to grab Patrick Mahomes.
I needed positional player
known as Brock Purdy, and maybe go grab Christian McCaffrey while you're at it.
I was weak. I was weak in running backs and receiver or running back or whatever it was. So I traded Laporta and I had Goddard as insurance. So I started him, but I got Rashad White, and Rashad White was doing amazing for me the last handful of weeks. But I lost Goddard, so I traded Jamar Chase with his back injury for DeAndre Hopkins and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is now gone.
DJ, I fucking love your co-host, man.
Trey Lance,
literally the ultimate definition of a self-hating Cowboys fan. You get Dak. Honestly,
good fantasy wise.
So now I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have to probably go trade for Hunter Henry, and we all know what's gonna happen to Hunter Henry in a couple weeks.
I mean,
so
listen, the Patriots already asked, so what does that fucking do to them? Nothing.
I know.
Good news, guys. Mark is at least walking off, so maybe he's not.
That's
dead.
good.
There you go. All right, we're gonna do one. All right, so I'm up, right? For Bears versus.
Yeah, I think I was the only one that picked Bears versus Falcons.
Bears Falcons. I guess give me the fucking Bears. I don't know. The Falcons to me, they got to fire Arthur Smith to be good at football again. So.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bears too. Seems like Arthur Smith's a big problem. He just figured out that that Bijan Robinson is useful, so he started playing him again. Yeah. It seems like the Falcons have playmakers at every offensive position besides the quarterback, and it seems like that's never going to get figured out. So
exactly. All right, Deej, you clean sweeping with us?
Yeah, I've been on record saying Arthur Smith is Chip Kelly with a mustache who just shaved off his mustache.
Thank you.
Listen, if
we're going against him at all times until he figures it out, because he wants to be the smartest guy in the room, but it's no. We'll never pick for him.
And the Falcons, all the Falcons have to do is all they gotta do is fire Arthur Smith, go draft like Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy later in the rounds or whatever, and then they're in a much better spot than the Bears.
All right, last one of the night. Bears versus the Buccaneers.
What is he saying? The
I kind of am a believer in the Baker Mayfield Express, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Another team, Buccaneers wise, that much better run organization. Coach sucks too, but I mean, other than that, I mean, that offense is they all they need is really just like some sort of above average tight end. Because you got Godwin, you have Evans, you got Rashad White. That defense is scrappy. I like the Buccaneers in this one over the Falcons, even if they are not the Falcons, the Bears. Even if they were to keep Baker Mayfield in the long run, I think they'd be better than the Bears. But I just they got to get a different quarterback, whether they draft or whatever they do. But the Falcons have all the
Baker is their Alex Smith.
The Buccaneers have all the pieces that they need. Just get a quarterback. They go
trade up. They draft their quarterback. But now they have their Alex Smith and Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield's not a bad teammate. He's just reckless with the football. But here's the thing is, Baker is not – listen, I watched Baker drive the field against 3 different good defenses this year and score touchdowns when his team needed points. And I'm like, yeah, this is still Baker Mayfield. Like, they're a good team. The problem is that Todd Bowles' defense is basically useless. They're good one week, and then against like C.J. Stroud, who's the next Aaron Rodgers, just useless. So,
are you referring to the Aaron Rodgers that's going to be coming back in about 4 weeks?
Yes, that Aaron Rodgers, the one who's going to be one of the top 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Aaron Rodgers, yes,
not Aaron Rodgers, but makes sense anyways.
Fair enough. All right, who's left to pick? That'd be the former intern.
Former intern. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucks.
All right.
Tampa Bay is a better free agent destination. I believe in Baker. Yeah, take the Bucks.
All right, so Bucks more likely to win a Super Bowl than the. I can believe that. All right, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, everybody. That wraps it up for the Corner Booth pregame. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to our boy Jay Smith at Unfair Sports for coming through. We know, understand his time is valuable. He was able to spend about an hour and 10 with us. DJ, where can we find your amazing content? You and that handsome devil, Kelsey.
You can find us at High Low Sports for pretty much everything from YouTube to X, Twitter, Instagram, everything and above. We go live every Wednesdays, 8 p.m., Tier Tuesdays every Tuesday, DJ's Best Bets every Saturday or Sunday morning leading into the NFL games. We're probably in about 50% overall with some of those too. The parlays aren't doing great, but the individual bets look pretty snazzy. So go and take a peek. Take the ones that you'd like out of there.
I used one of the individual bets last week and got me $1. I'm working with it.
We've hit 2 of the best bet parlays this year, so we're not completely useless. Those individual bets are good. The parlays, I get greedy. I try and go for those plus 1,000, plus 700s. I like to put them all with a little something.
Literally me. It's like watching me.
For you betting your mortgages, anyone who's watching. I'm not responsible for your mortgages or your life.
Yeah, if you want to gamble, you gamble. You can find me, Chris, and Matt at Corner Booth Pod. You can find Matt at Corner Booth Matt. Chris runs our Corner Booth Twitter account. I am at Belly Up Jared and Corner Booth Jared on everything else because apparently Twitter wants to be an asshole, won't be changing anything. Also, for continuity reasons, being one of the founding members of Belly Up Sports, that kind of tracks. Or at least one of the longest running members of Belly Up Sports. I think I'm number 3 behind the 2 co-owners. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Check out Tuesday. We'll have our Thanksgiving special with our holiday 9-pack. Not sure if DJ will be making it for our Tuesday show. If he is, awesome. If not, we understand.
Do we?
That being said, I believe Cruz is coming by for our Tuesday show. It should be a fun time. We will see you guys on Tuesday at 7:00 for our holiday, first of our holiday shows. Yeah, no, you're not. You don't qualify for that one, Kelsey. Sorry.
I was the first to say it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Gus Edwards scored.
There you go. The Gus bus in the crib. All right. We appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to Candidates, Mauler Bros, and SeatGeek, our amazing sponsors, and of course, Belly Up Sports and Belly Up Media. We will catch you guys on Tuesday for a live episode of the Corner Booth Podcast. Peace.